to be going over week 10 information, mostly about some geometry information. So there is a lot of terminology that comes across in geometry. So we just need to make sure that we understand that, okay? The first piece of information is the word line. Now lines continue in both directions forever, following that perfectly straight path as we see here. They will usually have, those arrows on the end to indicate that they are going in both directions forever. Rays. Rays have a fixed endpoint, so sometimes you'll even see that endpoint there really showing that fixed endpoint, but it is going in one direction. Now this one is pointing to the right. A ray can start at any fixed point and go in any direction. And last, here we've got line segments. Now line segments have two fixed endpoints, so many times you will actually see two endpoints noted on that line. So it is a segment of a line. So instead of the whole line, it's a part of a line. Let's talk about angles. Angles are what is created when the fixed ends of two rays meet. So remember that ray we were talking about, this fixed end, and then our ray goes here, and this fixed end, and our ray goes there. They have that common endpoint. That endpoint is called the vertex. And that might be on the next slide, I'm not sure, but in case it wasn't, I want to make sure to show you that. Now, where two lines cross or line segments cross or intersect will also create angles. So you'll notice here that these two lines are crossing. What's really interesting about when that happens, when that X occurs between either two lines or segments, that these two measures are called vertical angles. And if you were to measure those with a protractor or some type of measuring device, angle measure device, those are the same size. Those are called vertical angles. And this pair is the same size. So that's a fact about two crossing or intersecting lines that's really helpful to know. Now let's think about how angles are measured. There's more than just measuring angles in degrees, but that is the most common. There are 360 degrees in a circle. So, if you think about if you could cut this circle into 360 degree wedges, I think it's probably even smaller than that, maybe like that, then that is 1 degree. It's 1/360th of the way around the circle. So if you start here and you are a little bug that could walk around the outer edges of our circle and we get back to where we started, we have traveled a total of 360 degrees. So it's really important to know that one revolution around the circle is a total of 360 degrees. So that's very important to know that. Let's talk about how we can name angles. Angles can be named a variety of ways. And one way is about their size. So this angle that you see here is an acute angle. It is something between 0 and 90. So if we think about 90 makes that perfect L. We can even mark it with that little square there. You'll notice that this angle is in between that. So this one might be something like 42 degrees. So acute, I think, oh, it's so cute. A cute little angle is between 0 and 90. So that's what we saw earlier, but now we need to know some terminology. This one's called obtuse. Those obtuse angles are bigger than 90, between 90 and 180. So if we still mark, here's 90 going straight up there, and here's 180 finishing off that line. So sorry, that's I can never make a straight line very well, but Here, I'm going to try and make it a little better. Do you notice how this sweep of this angle is in between the 90 and 180 mark? So that might be something like, let's say, 150 degrees, where that other one I marked was 42 degrees. Okay? And those are just guesstimates for the sake of, argument, but there you go. So we know we've got acute angles. We talked about that between 0 and 90. We've got obtuse angles between 90 and 180. A right angle is a perfect 90-degree L. Think about the fact, we use right angles in so many things we do. When it comes to tiles on the floor, angles in the walls of your home, a piece of paper, right angles are just very common. We mark that with this little square in the corner. That designates that is 90 degrees. We call them the right angles. Now, intersecting lines that make 90-degree angles in all the spots that they meet are called perpendicular. So you definitely want to know that word perpendicular. Perpendicular means that the two lines cross and create 90 degrees. So this is 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. Something we talked about earlier is if we make one revolution, it's 360 degrees. 90 times 4 is 360. Still was 360 all the way around total. Okay, 360 divided by 4 is indeed 90. So that right angle would occur in all 4 of those locations. Now, there's some other vocabulary that you need to know about how two angles are related. If two angles add up to 90 degrees, we would call them complementary. So that is a vocabulary that you want to know. Complementary, add up to 90. Complementary are right. But if you'll notice, let's say if this one was 50 and this one was 40, those angles 50 and 40 add up to 90, they are complementary. Now they don't have to be smushed together like this. You can have a 50 degree on one part of the page and 40 degree on the other, but we would still call them complementary. They have a total of 90 degrees. Now a straight line is 180 degrees. Usually you put a vertex and then, you consider from here to here as 180 degrees. And I kind of marked that in that one picture because I knew that was something that's coming. And think about, if we go straight up, this would be 90, this would be 90. It totals up 180 degrees. Okay. We call two angles that add up to 90, we call that supplementary. So that's another vocab that you want to know. They are supplements to one another. So if this side here, and I'm just, again, making stuff up. If this was 120 degrees and this was 60 degrees, those two angle pairs, 60 and 120, add up to 180 degrees. We would consider them supplementary. Let's talk about parallel. Now, perpendicular we saw earlier. Those were two lines that meet at a 90-degree angle. Here are parallel. Parallel are two lines that run side by side and they never intersect. Think railroad tracks. So that is a vocab that you're going to have to know. Two lines that are parallel give us some very interesting relationships. If you remember back in algebra when you talk about slope of a line, how the line travels rise over run, parallel lines would follow the same slope. So they would go up and over the same rate. So, that's one of the reasons, that's kind of the reason why they never meet, because they are traveling perfectly next to each other at this perfect matching rate. Now, what's important is the transversal rules for parallel lines. So here's our parallel lines. I'll mark them in blue there. The transversal is the line that is cutting or crossing through those parallel lines. So that's where you see the word transversal. So if we look at this transversal and we look at the parallel lines, those parallel lines and a transversal create many angle relationships. But it's really important that you understand these relationships. Let me see if they actually do one. Yeah, okay. So here's what you need to know. Remember we talked earlier about vertical angles when you make an X. This angle and this angle is the same size. Because the parallel line, they are creating that same path, that same rate of change, these two are also the same amount. And I sometimes will visualize if I could pick these up, cut them out, like if this was on a piece of paper, and lay them on top of them, see how they correspond perfectly? That means that they will have the same size measure. Now, what's interesting is these two have the same measure because of vertical angles. These two have the same measure because of the fact that they are corresponding. Again, if I took a piece of paper, chopped this little thing out, laid it on top, see how all the blue stars line up on the blue stars and the red stars line up with the red stars. But another interesting fact is that the blue stars plus the red stars will always add up to 180 degrees. They're supplementary. So if you know all of the blue stars are one measure, then you know all of the red stars would be the supplement to that angle. Now let me show you that in an exact example. So we have marked that these two lines are parallel. It is being cut by a transversal. And in this spot right here, we create 127 degrees. That's all we know. But from that, we know lots more information. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark all the ones that will be 127 degrees. This one's going to be 127 because of the fact that it is vertical. It's across from it when you make that X. These two are 127 degrees because of the fact that they correspond to the same location in the parallel line. So I can mark all of these as 127 degrees. Now, let's jump to the ones I haven't marked. Where those red stars were, those two will be the same, corresponding, these two would be the same. So what do we know? Well, we know they're supplements. So we know that 180 minus off the 127 that we've got will give us the other angles. And it's as easy as that. So 180 minus 127 is 53 degrees. So all of these would be 53 degrees. So we are given one angle, and look what happened. We were able to calculate every single other relationship where the transversal cuts through those parallel lines. Now, our last example for today is we are given these lines and one angle and a 90-degree mark. We need to find all the angles in the picture. Now, I'm going to call this angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, and angle 5. And I'll say that this one was angle 6. Okay, it will just help us keep track of things. Now, there are many ways to do this, so I'm just showing you kind of what occurs to me as I go through a problem like this, just so that you get a sense of some relationships that you can find. So I look, does 35 make an X with anything? So see how 35 makes an X with what I've marked as angle 3. That means it's across from 35 degrees. So I know that angle 3 is also 35 degrees. So that one's done. Okay, so I know that. Now, I also know that angle 1 has been marked with a right angle mark. Okay, so whatever makes an X with that also must be a total of 90 degrees. So you'll notice this has to be 90, this has to be 90, this has to be 90. Well, 4 is clearly then 90 degrees. Okay, so really the only ones right now we don't know are angle 2 and angle 5. Well, angle 2 and angle 3 are complements to each other. I know that angle 2 plus angle 3 are a total of 90 degrees. because they sit in this little corner together. Because of that, since angle 3 is 35 degrees, we can use a little bit of logic. We can subtract 35 from 90, and 90 minus 35 is 55 degrees, so angle 2 is 55 degrees. The only one we haven't found is angle 5. Now remember, angle 2 and angle 5 are, in geometry we call congruent, but they're equal. Because they are equal, then I know, because also they are vertical angles, they make an X, that angle 5 is also 55 degrees. Now you can check your work, it's kind of interesting. If you add up 90 plus 55 plus 35 plus 90 plus 55 plus 35, you should get a total of 360. That's kind of a nice way to check your work. But we have found all of the angles that they asked us to. So there you go. So that's a little bit of geometry. I hope that helps you understand that concept. And I appreciate you being here and watching.